Every Angle of Substance Abuse. This series of work is based off the theme of every angle of substance abuse. This includes using drugs, the process of rehab, after recovery, and the consequences of addiction. This series of work is relevant today because most people either find themselves addicted to substances or greatly affected by the struggles of family and friends who use. According to the American Addiction Centers, 10% of adults ages 18 to 25 deal with substance abuse today. I know what it's like dealing with addiction and how it can overtake your life. I also know what it's like to finally be free of your demons. I use dynamic, abstract compositions of color and forms to express the physical, emotional, mental, and psychosocial experience of living with and freedom from addiction to substances. The work is intended to act effectively emotionally for a viewer, synchronizing their experience of an artwork with the experience of substance abuse. My first piece, Feeling Blue, is vinyl and MDF resin poured. This irregular shaped composition reflects my experience in rehab. I use the Morton Center logo as a start. The Morton Center is an outpatient rehabilitation program here in Louisville, Kentucky. This piece is based off the time I spent in this program, 3 months, in the process of recovery during these 3 months. It includes the 12 steps with a composition of cubes and the Morton Center logo. I repeat the logo, turning it, twisting it, to visualize my ambivalence toward the Morton Center program during my experience and the process to full recovery. I decided on a geometric composition that is precise and predictable. This is relevant to the rehabilitation experience, reflecting the rules and regulations. There is a very predictable pattern because during the process of recovery, unpredictability is obviously not successful and often leads to failure and or relapse. There is a need for complete structure. My whole purpose of attending a rehab program was to learn from people who've been through similar experiences and are a living example as possible to get your life back on track. While making this piece, I almost wanted to throw an organic shape or break a line or not fill in a color because like rehab I wanted to break free from precise and predictable sober living. In life I worried I would end up dead or in jail, so I continued with the repetition and rehab process to gain full recovery. I think I had the same rules apply to my work because from my experience the repetition of healthy, clean living is appealing. I wanted the work to be attractive in a similar way. My second piece, Rejoice, is also vinyl on MDF resin poured. This piece is a regular shape piece cut on MDF. I use bright and holographic vinyl to depict the feeling of what it's like when I finished rehab. Rejoice is meant to convey a feeling of accomplishment when faced with the risk of failure. I've been researching Jessica Eaton and Philip Taffet. I'm attracted to their use of irregular shaped compositions, use of optical illusion of death created with the use of geometric and organic shapes, and their use of a selected color palette. Drawing from their artworks, I have found myself very influenced in applying these artists' use of irregular shaped compositions, similar color palettes, and most obvious, their use of illusions. As a viewer is looking at my work, the connections to my influence may seem quite obvious. I did my internship with Rebecca Norton. She taught me the process of how to resin pour on to these pieces during my internship with her. I have also been consulting her, and she has been offering advice and critiques during my entire process throughout senior thesis this year. The resin pour really made the vinyl pop like it's framed in resin. My work demonstrates the feeling process and sequence of using substances, attending a rehabilitation program, and then how it feels to be in recovery. I want the viewers to be able to look at my artwork and feel the sensations of this process and witness the color transformation and composition at the end of what true recovery feels like. In my piece titled Rejoice. Kentucky in 2018 alone had 1,315 deaths due to drug overdoses. The amount of people each year is still increasing. Most people have either been directly affected to this epidemic or know someone who has. Substance abuse is a really big issue, and if not addressed, it can be very detrimental, leading to either incarceration or even death. I know what it's like dealing with addiction and how it can overtake your life. I also know what it's like to be finally free from your demons. I am a living example, and I want others to know it's possible, even when it seems like the addiction is winning.